New at 5, a man found dead, apparently gunned down in his La Cantera apartment, is being remembered by those who knew him as a music artist who stood out from all the rest.
It's a story straight out of a tragic crime novel. An aspiring musician with ties to one of the world's biggest superstars, Beyonce, was shot down by someone he trusted.
As I was knocking on the door, I just threw a gun up and I just shot.
It coming off?
Yes.
The footage that helped break the case? A simple Ring camera. Stick around, because this case isn't as simple as it seems.
I saw a young African-American female holding a gun, barefoot, walking down the hallway.
In today's video, we're stepping into a tragic and shocking story that took place in San Antonio, Texas, involving 34-year-old Martell DeRouen, a rising rapper and music producer known as Cordoni.
He was just real subtle dude, man.
Now, what makes this case even more high profile? Martell was related to none other than the iconic singer Beyonce through his mother's side. His promising career was cut short when he was found dead in his locked apartment, and the person responsible, his girlfriend, Sasha Skare. You won't believe the twists and turns of this case, from the Ring camera footage to Skare's shocking courtroom testimony.
Sasha Skare is accused in the 2021 murder of San Antonio rapper Martell DeRouen.
Grab your popcorn, because this is one story that will leave you questioning everything. Let's start at the beginning. On January 26, 2021, police were called for a welfare check after Martell's family hadn't heard from him in 4 days. Now, if someone's been silent for that long, red flags start flying everywhere. When officers arrived at his apartment, they found the door locked, but they noticed something that sent chills down their spines.
Daniel Molina, badge number is 2467. The bullet hole is slightly off left to the door knocker. I remember the victim fell backwards.
There was a bullet hole right through the door. Inside the apartment, Martell was lying by the door, blood around his head. That's when detectives put together what had likely happened. The bullet hole lined up perfectly with where his forehead was. He'd been shot while looking through the peephole. And before you think this is some random break-in, there was plenty of evidence inside the apartment suggesting there was more to the story. There were broken dishes, scattered women's clothing, and a single broken acrylic fingernail.
The bullet hole through the door where it was located and where his injury was located on his head told us that he had been shot through the door from somebody outside the door.
Now, if that doesn't scream, something's up, I don't know what does. Here's where it gets even more interesting and creepy. Martell's neighbors didn't just hear things, they saw things. One neighbor recalled hearing a loud argument around 8 p.m. on January 22nd, the night Martell was likely killed. Another neighbor saw a barefoot woman knocking on Martell's door, looking like she was trying to get inside.
When I opened the door, I did not see the food, so I realized that there wasn't the DoorDash that was banging. And then I saw a woman that was banging on the unit across from my door.
But the real breakthrough, the Ring camera footage. A third neighbor's Ring camera picked up the sound of a gunshot on the night of January 22nd, and shortly after, recorded a young woman walking past with a gun in one hand and a cell phone in the other.
I saw a young African-American female holding a gun, barefoot, walking down the hallway.
It didn't take a detective to connect the dots. This was the same woman neighbors saw outside Martell's door. Now here's a bizarre twist for you. The night of the murder, there was a 911 call from someone claiming to be Martell's wife, Joya DeRouen. The caller said she was concerned about a bullet in the door and worried about her husband. But here's the catch. The caller didn't spell Joya's name right. Talk about a red flag, right?
Do you hear him?
No, he's not responding. I called him. He's just not responding. And there's a hole in his door, and I don't know what's going on, honestly.
There's a hole in the door?
Yes.
And what is your name?
My name's Joya DeRouen.
Spell the first name?
Joya, G-A-O-I-A.
And your husband's name?
Martell,
Last name?
DeRouen, DeRoun.
When police later spoke to the real Joya, she not only denied making the call, but she pointed them in the direction of Martell's girlfriend at the time, 21-year-old Sasha Skare.
Well, number one, she pronounced my name wrong. My last name is not DeRouen, it's DeRouen. She spelled it wrong. You couldn't tell whether she was going to spell it with a G or a J. It's with a J. It wasn't the correct information at all.
This is where things take a dark turn. Sasha wasn't just some jealous girlfriend. She had a violent history. In 2019, she and her then-boyfriend, Andrew Bass, were involved in a drug deal gone wrong, and Bass was shot and killed. Sasha was charged with attempted robbery and assault with a deadly weapon, but was out on bond at the time of Martell's murder. That's right. She was walking around with a criminal record, and now she was connected to yet another tragic death.
Late breaking news as we come on air tonight. San Antonio police have arrested the suspect accused of shooting and killing a man at a La Cantera apartment complex just last week.
Seems like she's got a flair for drama, huh? As police dug deeper, they uncovered text messages between Martell and Sasha from the night he died. These weren't your typical, "Where are you?" or "What are we having for dinner?" texts. Nope, these were chilling messages that painted a very different picture. In one message, Martell tells Sasha, "I had to defend myself. You attacked me. I had to get you out of here, but you need to bring my gun back. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone's telling me to return their gun, that relationship's got some serious issues." Police pieced together that after an argument, Martell kicked Sasha out of his apartment. But before she left, she grabbed his handgun, and what followed was pure chaos. So, what led to that fatal shot? Police believe that Sasha, in a fit of anger, called Martell to the door, knowing he'd check the peephole. And when he did, she pulled the trigger. The shot went straight through the door, hitting Martell in the forehead. That's where the evidence from the ring camera and the broken fingernail found in his apartment came into play. It was all too clear who had been there and what had happened.
What I would consider the most significant injury is a gunshot wound to the right upper forehead.
Now, you might think Sasha would take a plea deal after all this evidence came to light, right? Wrong. The prosecution offered her 20 years, but Sasha refused. Why? She said she didn't want to be away from her son for that long. When the trial came around in August 2023, Sasha took the stand in her own defense. Her version of events? She claimed she and Martell had gotten into a physical dispute, and that he started hitting and choking her. She panicked, grabbed the gun, and accidentally fired through the door when she was trying to leave. But the jury wasn't buying it.
It felt like a long time. He was hitting me, choking me, until up to the point where I couldn't breathe.
As I was knocking on the door, I just threw the gun up and I just shot.
It coming off?
Yes.
With all the evidence collected against her, from the ring camera footage, the text messages, and the DNA from her broken fingernail, the jury found Sasha guilty of murder.
Sasha Skare is accused in the 2021 murder of San Antonio rapper Martell DeRouen.
She was sentenced to 55 years in prison, and she won't be eligible for parole until 2048.
55 years in prison for murder. It took a jury more than 4 hours to sentence Sasha Skare for killing San Antonio rapper Martell DeRouen in 2021.
But here's the kicker. Sasha still insists it was an accident and plans to appeal her conviction.
1, we assess her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 55 years.
Sasha, the pain and agony that you brought upon my family is unbearable. You deserve every single consequence that you caused from your own actions.
And that, my friends, is the tragic and shocking case of Martell DeRouen's murder. It's a heartbreaking story of a promising young artist with connections to Beyoncé, who tragically lost his life far too soon. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Was it truly an accident, or was it a crime of passion? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more crime stories like this one. And remember, crime never pays. but you'll pay if you don't turn on that notification bell to stay updated.